one of our 25-day challenge. For the first workout, we have 3 rounds of 30 seconds each. If you're doing it on your own, it'll be 10 reps each. We have reverse lunge row, lateral band walk, and then opposite knee press. As you do each of these exercises, we have different modifications that are available depending on your comfort. So first up, we have the reverse lunge row. We're gonna have a band that's gonna be attached around chest to hip level, and you can use your door frame, you can use a power rack. You're gonna hold the band with the opposite hand of the front leg, or the leg that's gonna be working. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna inhale to step back as I reach forward with the band and come to the bottom of the lunge, and then exhale to come up and row the band at the same time. So I'm going to inhale to come down, think belly to thigh, finding that internal rotation so we have more length here in the glute. You're going to feel more of a stretching here in the hamstring and glute. Really think keep that knee stacked over the ankle, so I don't want the knee to be pushing out. Keep weight in that big toe side, and then exhale, come on up. If I need to regress this because single leg movements are painful, I can start with just a split stance. So feet are going to be stationary, but I'm still in this asymmetrical stance. And then if I need to continue to regress this because uneven stances are uncomfortable, I can do a squat row. So feet will be even with one another. Inhale down, exhale to row, and I can even row with both hands at the same time. If I want to advance it, I can hold a weight in my free hand. And so I'll be here, inhale back, find that internal rotation, exhale to row as I come on up. Next up, we have the lateral band walk. The higher the band is, the easier this movement will be. The lower it is, the harder it will be. So find your level of height that works best for you. With the lateral band walk, I want to keep my feet parallel to one another, torso over my hips. I'm going to put weight into my trail leg as I hover in one foot, and then I'm going to drive the feet apart. Bring the feet back together, hover, and then drive. So hover, step to drive, hover, step to drive. If you find that that's too easy, lower the band down. Now, if you're finding that that is painful for you to spread the legs apart, we can first find some more support in all fours position. So we can come into all fours for a tabletop, and then we're just gonna spread the leg out, and then bring it back in, spread the leg out, and bring it back in. And this movement may be a little bit easier because we have 3 points of contact versus just one with the foot. Now, if spreading the feet apart is painful in every way, we can do a hip thrust where we have banded abduction. So I'm gonna have my knees be wide so I have resistance against the band, and then I'm gonna exhale to push up, maintaining this resistance. So it's working the same muscles, but in a way where my legs are not spreading apart. Inhale to come down, exhale to press up. As I do the hip thrust, I wanna focus on my ribs and my pelvis staying together, so I'm not just moving my hips, my pelvis and ribs are moving together, pivoting here kind of in my upper back. So exhale to push the hips up, keep the legs apart. Inhale to lower down will be the regression for the lateral band walk. And then we'll finish with the opposite knee press. So you'll come into a supine position either with the hips down on the floor or elevated. With the opposite knee press, I'm going to take the hand and I'm going to press hard into the opposite hand and then inhale to release. So I'm going to exhale to come and press. Inhale to release. As I press, I want to watch for any sort of like doming or like bulging here in my abdomen. If that's happening, I want to exhale and then press. So it'll be shh, and that can help activate the core to avoid any of that doming. If I want to make this more challenging, I could hover in the hips and I could do a bridge position as I press into the knee. If I want to make this more challenging, instead of just doing all on one side, I can alternate between the two, which will make it more challenging for me. So we'll start with our first round with our reverse lunge row, choosing the variation that works best for you. You can either do a reverse lunge, you can do a split squat, or a squat. So inhale to lower, exhale to row the band back as you come up. Inhale to lower, exhale to come up. Really thinking finding that internal rotation at the bottom. So belly to thigh, feel that stretch in that glute. Exhale to come up and extend in the hip. Keeping weight in that front foot. Inhale down. Exhale to come up. You can really think keep weight in that big toe side of the foot as you lower down. And then switching sides. So if you're using the weight, you're just gonna switch it to the other hand, grab the band with the opposite hand. And again, you're holding the band with the hand that's opposite of the front leg or that forward leg. And I got my little workout buddy here with me too. So inhale to lower down, think belly to thigh. Exhale, row that band back. So inhale to lower, exhale to come on up, inhale down, exhale to row that band. Really think, squeeze that elbow into your side. You are my daughter. So your kids are welcome to join you with these workouts. You don't have to work out exclusively away from them. And it's a really great opportunity to demo or to demonstrate a healthy level of fitness. All right, so let's move on to lateral band walk. So you'll grab your mini band, you'll place it around the legs, which is wherever is most comfortable for you. If you find that spreading the legs apart is really uncomfortable, try the fire hydrant or the hip thrust variation. So putting weight into one foot, spread the feet apart, bring them together, spread the feet apart, bring them together, and then just do like 2 or 3 steps in one direction and then 2 or 3 in the other for 30 seconds. Good job. Really focusing on keeping that torso stacked over the hips, so we don't want to be doing this like swaying thing as we go. Keep the feet parallel as you step. And then we'll come onto our backs for that opposite knee press. So taking the mini band off your legs, whoop, come onto your back. Hips down will be easier, hips elevated will be slightly harder. So choosing whatever feels better for you. And then press hard into that opposite knee. Inhale to lower down, exhale. And again, if you're experiencing any sort of like bulging with the abdomen, exhale and then press into your knee.
Nobody can see me really well, right?
And then coming back to that reverse lunge row, grabbing onto that weight if that was what you used in the first round. So holding the band in the opposite hand of the forward leg, and the options are split squat or squat if single leg movements are uncomfortable for you. So inhale to reach forward, exhale to row. Inhale to drop down, think knee staying stacked over the ankle. Exhale to come on up. So finding that internal rotation at the bottom of this movement. Keeping weight in that big toe side of the foot. Inhale, down, exhale, come on up. Switching sides, so placing the weight into the other hand if you're using it, grabbing the band with the opposite hand of the front leg, and doing the same variation that you did on the other side. So either a split stance or squat or a reverse lunge. Inhale to step back, reach forward with the band. Exhale to row. Inhale to lower back. Exhale to row. And really think belly to thigh at the bottom to find that internal rotation, which is gonna find more length in that glute and strengthen it more. And moving on to that lateral band walk. So grabbing onto that band, placing it around your legs. The lower the band, the harder this will be. You'll do a few steps in one direction, a few steps in the opposite direction. You all set? Ready? And then begin to step side to side, really focus on keeping that torso aligned with your pelvis so we're not leaning in the torso. Slight hover and then drive, slight hover and then drive, keeping the feet parallel to one another. And then again, if you need to regress this, the fire hydrant or the hip thrust are 2 great options. And then coming onto our back for the opposite knee press. So either hips down or hips up. Hips up will be slightly more challenging, and then alternating the legs will be the most challenging option of the 3. So exhale to press into that opposite knee. Inhale to lower down. And then again, paying attention if there's any bulging in your abdomen. If so, exhale and then press. Focus on keeping the hips level if you have them elevated. Moving into our final round, that reverse lunge row, grabbing onto your weight, if you're using one. Band is in the opposite hand of that forward leg. You ready? So inhale to step back, reach forward with the band. Exhale to row that band back. Really think, squeeze that elbow into your side. Inhale back. Exhale to row. Inhale back. Exhale as you come up. As you inhale, think belly to thigh, knee staying stacked over that ankle, and then row the band back at the top. Yeah. And then switching sides, so placing that band in the opposite hand now. Opposite hand of the working leg or that forward leg. Inhale down, exhale as we come on up. So getting ready, you all set? Inhale, step back, exhale, coming up. So inhale to reach forward with that band, really emphasize that internal rotation. Exhale to row at the same time. So this simultaneous movement is strengthening the posterior oblique sling, which helps to stabilize the low back and the SI joint. As I study. All right, moving on to the lateral band walk. Taking your mini band, placing it around your legs. The lower the band, the harder this will be. As you do the lateral band walk, really focus on keeping tension in the band the whole time. So we don't want the feet to come so close that we lose tension in the band. So step, drive, do 2 or 3 steps in one direction, 2 or 3 in the other. Focus on keeping the feet parallel and the torso stacked over the pelvis. So we're really looking to feel this in like the outer glutes or those side glutes. Good job. Last exercise will be that opposite knee press. So come onto your backs for the opposite knee press. Either hips stay down for the easier variation or elevate the hips for the slightly harder variation. So exhale to press into that knee. Inhale to lower down. And that concludes day 1 of our 25-day challenge. Try to do the workouts with your kids, do them on your own. This is just a way to have some intentional movement for 10 to 15 minutes a day.
Or you can come to the gym and do that.
That's right, you can also come to the gym and do them with us.
Yeah. Sometimes my mom brings me to the gym. You can be your kids in the gym too.